Saint Helena. She has the feast day on the 18th May, and she has the patronage of difficult marriages, of divorcees, and of archaeologists. And there is the medieval chronicler, Geoffrey de Monmouth, who said that she was born to the British King Cole, but the book says that it is more likely that she was the daughter of an innkeeper in Bithynia in Asia Minor in Turkey. And it says in the book that one day she met then Constantinus, a Roman general, and they both married. They were both married for 20 years, and they had a son, which became then the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great. After having been married for 20 years, it was deemed politically expedient from Constantinus that he divorces her, and so he divorced her, and he married then the stepdaughter of Maximian. Her son, Constantinus the Great, one day became emperor, and then in the year 312, he proclaimed that Christianity should from now on be tolerated in the Roman Empire. During the time also Saint Helena converted to Christianity, and she used treasury funds to build churches and to give alms to poor people and to prisoners. Then in the year 324, Constantine the Great became also the ruler of the Eastern Roman Empire. And at that time, when Saint Helena traveled to that region. First two things. The first thing is that many monasteries in northeastern England are observing the St. Helen's feast. And that has maybe to do with that the troops of Constantine the Great proclaimed him there in York to be the new Caesar. And there's also in Lancashire, there in northeastern England, somewhere, the town St. Helena. And the second thing is that now, during that time, Jerusalem in the 4th century was not a Jewish city, but that there was a temple to the goddess Venus on the place where the tomb of Jesus was at Mount Calvary. And so Constantine the Great, now the ruler of the Eastern Roman Empire, ordered that place to be excavated, and there the Church of the Holy Sepulchre to be built. And at that time, then St. Helena, at the age older than 80 years old, traveled then there to venerate the sacred places of Jesus Christ's life. When she was there, it is said that she then found in a rock cistern 3 crosses. And they wanted to find out which one of these is the cross at which Jesus Christ was crucified. So they asked a woman with an incurable disease to touch these 3 ones. And after that incurable woman miraculously healed instantaneously after touching one of these 3, it was regarded that this cross is the one at which Jesus Christ was crucified. And that's according to Malcolm Day's Treasury of Saints book on the page 45. The positions and views expressed are the ones of a source and don't necessarily align with my own, or with the ones of the entities as well. Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn Biographyology. Today is Saint Helena, and after we've done that, we're going to do Armstrength training. And if you participate in the Armstrength training, then it's already honest. And it's the second time that we're reading it. Saint Helena, patronage of divorcees, of difficult marriages, and archaeologists. The deed that made Helen famous, finding a cross on which Jesus was crucified, is treated by historians with a good deal of skepticism. What is beyond a reasonable doubt is that this plucky empress undertook a long pilgrimage to the Holy Land as an elderly woman and died devoting her energy to caring for the poor. We're going to say that later on again, so we need these informations. It is said that she found the cross of Jesus. Some people don't believe it. And what she was the mother of Constantine, the Roman Emperor or something, of a wife. So we're going to read later on. And she traveled to the Holy Land and devoted her energy to care for the poor. What is known of Helen's early life is uncertain. The medieval chronicler Geoffrey of Monmouth claimed she was daughter of a legendary British King Cole and was born in York. More likely is that she was born in an innkeeper of Bithynia in Asia Minor. She was spotted by the Roman general Constantinus, who took her to be his wife, but only until he was promoted to the rank of Caesar, when it was deemed politically expedient to divorce Helen and marry the stepdaughter of the Emperor Maximian. Expedient. Let's look at that. I will have a big dictionary. Expedite, expediency, expedience, variety of a particular circumstance of a case. Advisability, all things being duly considered or taken into account, to seek the seeking of immediate or selfish gain or advantage at the expense of genuine principle. Time-servingness, expedient, tending to promote the object, proper under the circumstances, conducive or tending to selfish ends, that which serves to promote or advance. Any means which may be employed to accomplish an end, means devised or employed in an exigency. Exigency? Shift, contrivance, resort, plan, device. I don't really know what it means. Because it was deemed expedient. It was deemed expedient to divorce Helena. Okay, so there is the medieval chronicler Geoffrey of Monmouth, who claimed that she was the daughter of the British King Colborne in York. The book says that it is more likely that she was the daughter of an innkeeper in Bithynia in Turkey or Asia Minor. And there she encountered Constantinus, the Roman general, and they two married. When Constantinus became the rank of Caesar, so the emperor, I think, the highest rank, I think, and it was deemed expedient to divorce her. And so she was divorced and he married the stepdaughter of Maximian. They had been married for 20 years, and they had a son who became Constantine the Great, who then proclaimed in 312 that Christianity should be tolerated in the empire, also occasioned her conversion at over 6 years of age. It occasioned, that is also stated, it occasioned, that is all. It would have been inconvenient if she would have converted to become a Christian while the Roman Empire was not tolerating Christians, while her son was the emperor. Has that had any influence maybe on Constantine the Great, that his mother became a Christian? Did that happen before Constantine the Great became a Christian? Because I never heard anything about that. And I'm just a bit wondering, the first thing is he is written tolerated. I heard always expressed that he pretty much, I don't know if he enforced it, but it sounds more he converted the whole Roman Empire to be Christian. That maybe I understood it wrong, but it is not directly saying he enforced it. It is implying it a bit. But even if not, it's saying he said the whole Roman Empire is Christian now. Maybe he did not enforce it. He said he tolerated it, which is a completely different word. And that is quoted here, tolerated. And his mother occasioned at the same time to become Christian. Now the book is in other aspects, I think, not completely 100% always orientated on the facts. It's rather oftentimes about how it sounds good, just from literal style. And I don't want to excuse the Book of Armstrength, but I have a little feeling the book sometimes tends to pick up a myth because it sounds great. And sometimes we're clarifying here that it is more likely that it's another source, but I think at some places we're not really clarifying that if it's 50-50 or good possible or something, they're also stating it a bit like a fact. No, but taking that for we having Roman Empire studies another part. What if that, because that is a thing which is often repeated, it seems to have a big impact, or at least this is one of the most well-known things in the history of the world, but Constantine the Great made the Roman Empire to have a religion of Christianity. I never heard of anything to say that his mother occasioned also to become a Christian, and that his mother, it is said, found the cross on which Jesus was crucified, and that his mother is a saint. Okay. Constantinus was married for 20 years with Saint Helena, and they had a son who became Constantine the Great, who proclaimed in 312 that Christianity should be tolerated. She converted at that time at the age of over 60 to become a Christian. And then she used treasury funds and spent it to promote Christian values and build churches and give alms to prisoners and the poor. What did the Romans do to the churches built when later on the Roman Empire again persecuted Christians? Did you demolish that or something? Okay. Using treasury funds, she spent the time promoting Christian values, building churches, giving alms to prisoners and the poor. And when her son Constantine the Great became also the ruler or the master of the Eastern Empire in 324, there Helen felt safe enough and then fulfilled her ambition and made a pilgrimage to the Holy Land to venerate the sacred places of Jesus' life. When Constantine converted to Christianity in 312, Jerusalem was no longer a Jewish city. A temple to the pagan goddess Venus stood on the site of Jesus' tomb on Mount Calvary. During that time, Jerusalem was not Jewish, and many people there believed in Venus. And there was now a temple dedicated to Venus built at the place on Mount Calvary where Jesus' tomb was. Constantine's instruction to have the site excavated and to build the Church of the Holy Sepulchre provided the pretext for Helen to visit Palestine at nearly 80 years of age. And Constantinus, when excavated the site that built the church, and the church seems to have the name Holy Sepulchre, and the Holy Sepulchre Church was built, and Helena went there. According to St. Ambrose, a story romanticized in Cynewulf's 9th century poem Ellen, Helen is credited with finding 3 crosses in a rock system. And when we said we're not going to say it is said by St. Ambrose in the Cynewulf's 9th century poem, it could be that it is mentioned that there was other places as well. So then it is said that she found in a cistern 3 crosses, and her instant recovery. A woman with an incurable disease. So another woman with an incurable disease was asked to touch one of the crosses, and on one she recovered instantly, and therefore some people regard that cross as the cross at which Jesus Christ was crucified. Helen's feast was observed in many English monasteries, especially in the northeast of the country. There her son Constantine was proclaimed Caesar by his troops at York. Okay, at York, the thing at Thomas and Helen. Okay, in Lancashire owns its name to her churches built there. Venerate. Okay, we have read it. Now I want to know what is venerate. Venerate. Venerated, venerating, venerore, veneratus, to venerate from the stem of Venus, veneris, Venus, love, allied to scripture, one, to worship, to love, to regard with respect, and the reference, to refer to regard as hallowed. Veneration, the highest degree of respect and reverence, a feeling or sentiment excited by the dignity, wisdom, and goodness of a person or by the sacredness of his character, and with regard to place by whatever makes us regard it as hallowed. Okay, it is here for one sentence was good. The highest degree of respect and the reverence. The highest degree of respect and reverence, a feeling or sentiment excited by the dignity, wisdom, and goodness of a person, or by the sacredness of his character, and with regard to place by whatever makes us regard it as hallowed. I don't also know what hallowed means, but we don't have time. If you were here for biographyology, you can go directly to the next part of biographyology. We have all the information, we're going to go short over it again, and then I try to do the presentation. If you stay here and participate in the Armstrength training, when I said in the arms, have a good and stable stance, breathe and reach with the fingertips of sides. In and up. Reach with the fingertips. Hold it down. And reach in front. High up. Back down. And long arms with fists. Don't do it if it causes discomfort. Circle the wrists and the arms. And fall back. Down. Change the direction. And down again. And now press with the fingertips together. If this causes at any time, or if any exercise causes at any moment pain, then don't do it. And stop immediately. So the first rule is, if there's at any time pain, then stop immediately. The second rule is, I don't know. The next exercise, we have just two here. The first one is, if there's at any moment pain at the wrists, or at the elbows, at the fingers, fingertips, or the joints of the fingers, then stop immediately. And the second rule is, don't overdo it. We just want to strain them to exhaust. The muscles of your arms are stronger as the joints of the fingers, so don't press with full force. Next exercise. Press with the fingertips into the fingernails of the other hand. If this causes damage at the skin or at the nails, don't do it. The arm which overcrosses the body comes from the top. The rest, give it. Overcross, twist, and give it. Two more. We don't have full time left. Up and up. This. Give in. The arm which overcrosses comes from the bottom. This. This. One arm more. This. Give in. And again. Both arms together. Not with full force. Don't do it if this causes discomfort somewhere. Don't straighten the elbows completely. Down. Middle and into the other direction. Over. Up. Down, middle, over, up, over, down, over, and relax the hands. We have time left for some push-ups. Let's do 12. Hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the tailbone in and down. You can make the elbows wider apart if you do wide push-ups, and have the hands wider apart. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 9, 11, and so relax the hands, arms to the side, circle in front, backwards, one arm in front, the other one, and go with moderate pressure of the middle part of the lower arm, and that was the Armstrength training. I thank you very much, and until next time.